The Messerschmitt Me 410 Hornisse is a German heavy fighter and Schnellbomber used by the Luftwaffe during World War II. Though an incremental improvement of the Me 210, it had a new wing plan, longer fuselage and engines of greater power. The changes were significant enough for the aircraft to be renamed the Me 410. Development of the Me 210 had been underway since 1939, but the aircraft proved unstable and was never considered for full-scale production. Modifications to the layout produced the Me 210C and 210D, which proved somewhat superior. As studies progressed on the Me 210D, and with a separate parallel attempt to improve upon the 210 with the Messerschmitt Me 310 in the second half of 1943, which provided almost no aerodynamic improvement over the 210E's risky handling qualities. It was instead decided to introduce a new model, the Me 410. The major change between the Me 210 and 410 was the introduction of the larger at 44.5 liters, 2,720 cu in displacement and more powerful Daimler-Benz DB603A engines. They each provided 1,750 metric horsepower, 1,730 horsepowers, compared to the 1,475 metric horsepower, 1,455 horsepowers of the DB605 seconds used on the Me 210C. The extra power increased the Me 410E's maximum speed to per hour, 388 miles per hour, greatly improved rate of climb, service ceiling, and most notably the cruising speed, which jumped to 360 miles per hour. The more powerful engines also improved payload capability to the point where the aircraft could lift a warload greater than could fit into the bomb bay under the nose. To address this, shackles were added under the wings for 4 110lb bombs. The changes added an extra 1,500 lb to the Me 210 design, but the extra engine power more than made up for the difference. As with the Me 210, the 410E's rear gunner used the same pair of Ferngerichtet Seitenluft Diesel 1311B turrets mounted on each side of the aircraft, each still armed with a 13mm MG-131 machine gun, retaining the same pivoting handgun-style grip, trigger and gun sight to aim and fire the ordnance as the 210 did. Deliveries began in January 1943, 2 years late, and continued until September 1944, by which point a total of 1,160 of all versions had been produced by Messerschmitt Augsburg and Dornier im Enchen. When it arrived, it was liked by its crews, even though its improved performance was not enough to protect it from the swarms of high-performance Allied fighters they faced at this stage of the war. The Me 410 night bomber proved to be an elusive target for the RAF night fighters. The first unit to operate over the UK was VKG-2, which lost its first Me 410 on the night of 13 July 14, 1943, when it was shot down by a de Havilland Mosquito of No. 85 Squadron RAF. On the March 6, 1944, during an attack on Berlin by 758th AF heavy bombers, when 16 Me 410 seconds were shot down in return for 8 B-17S and 4 P-51S, which were destroyed by Bf-109 and Fw-190 fighters escorting the Me 410 seconds. The following month, on 11 April, with 8th AF raids hitting Sarau, Rostock and Oschersleben, EI, ZG-26E's Me 410 seconds accounted for a rare clear success, initially bringing down 10 B-17S without any losses. During the course of the same raid, their second sortie was intercepted by P-51S that destroyed 8 Me 410 seconds and 3 Bf-110 seconds. 16 crewmen were killed and 3 wounded. From mid-1944, despite being Hitler's favorite bomber-destroyer, the Me 410 units were taken from defense of the Reich duties and production was phased out in favor of heavily armed single-engine fighters as dedicated bomber-destroyers, with the Me 410 seconds remaining in service flying on reconnaissance duties only. Some Me 410 seconds were used with Junkers Ju 188 seconds during the Battle of Normandy, for high-altitude night reconnaissance. The Me-410B series was similar to the A series, but replaced the pair of 7.92mm MG-17 seconds with 13mm MG-131 machine guns. The originally planned 1,900 horsepower's DB600 3 engine had been cancelled in early 1944, so all Me-410Bs used DB603A or DB603AA engines. The DB600 3 would have increased the maximum speed to 390 miles per hour and cruising speed to 370 mph, although the weight increased once again. The versions were the same as with the A series, the Me-410B1 and Me-410B3, filling the same roles as the earlier A1 and A3 versions, also with the option of using the same Messerschmitt Bausi factory conversion kits as the A series. The versions were the same as with the A series, the Me-410B1 and Me-410B3, filling the same roles as the earlier A1 and A3 versions, also with the option of using the same Messerschmitt Bausi factory conversion kits as the A series. The Me-410D was a simpler upgrade to the B series to improve altitude performance than the C series. It would be powered by the DB603JZ engines and had a revised forward fuselage to increase the field of view of the pilot and reduce drag. It also replaced portions of the outer wing panels with ones made of wood to conserve strategic materials. Several were built, but like many other attempts at wood construction by the German aviation industry late in World War II, the loss of the Goldschmidt-Tago film factory in Wuppertal, in a Royal Air Force night bombing raid, meant the acidic replacement adhesives available were too corrosive to the materials being bonded, and the wooden portions tended to fail. Production was eventually cancelled to concentrate on Bf-109GS in August 1944, after 1,160 Me-410 seconds had been built, the month after the Gernot program had gone into effect. That's all for today, and until next time, goodbye.